Do you get stage fright when performing? Does even the thought of playing in front of people make you nervous? The clammy palms and the nervous sweats and the shaky voice? Well, I had stage fright when I was first learning to play music. I think a lot of musicians struggle with it. And over the years, I picked up a few really useful tips to help me get over stage fright, and I wanted to pass them along to you. So anxiety is a physiological response. For me, it's like this untapped channel of adrenaline that you have just sort of built up inside you. And if you have no way to express that channel, of course, you're gonna get really, really nervous because it's like this big pressure cooker that can't release. So more often than not, your gig is going to happen towards the end of the day. That can be a good thing or a bad thing. On one hand, you have all day to get really worked up about the gig and just spend it in your head thinking. On the other hand, you can nip that anxiety in the bud by going for a workout or a run, or even just doing a few jumping jacks to help get yourself out of your head and back into your body. Working out produces endorphins, which act as a natural painkiller and stress reliever. So it really, really works. There's plenty of scientific evidence to back this up. If you're stressing out, go for a run around the block. You'll feel like $1 million in no time. So what's the first thing that usually happens when we get stressed out? That's right, we forget to even breathe. So it's like we get so caught up on thinking about all the rehearsing and all the stuff that we gotta do before that gig that we forget to even just do the basic human activity of just breathing in and out. So by shifting your breathing rate and pattern, you can help stimulate your body's parasympathetic response system. So that's like the opposite of the fight or flight system that we use whenever we're in this kind of do or die scenario. And 9 times out of 10, you're not gonna be in those do or die scenarios when you're stressed out. So just remember to breathe, get your body back into this space where it feels okay, and you'll be able to process all the other stuff so much easier. So number 3 is change how you perceive discomfort. Of course, adrenaline is going to feel uncomfortable when we have it. It's supposed to. It's a necessary response to keep us focused and at our sharpest. But all the best performers out there know how to ride that adrenaline wave versus resist that wave. Just go into your performance knowing that you're not going to stay feeling this way forever. And that will allow you to use that adrenaline as power to help keep you sharpest and most focused as you're performing. If you resist that adrenaline, you're gonna just find yourself in this really uncomfortable place where you're not able to express yourself musically, and you're just gonna slow yourself down and make all sorts of mistakes. So don't be afraid of your power. Let your love of music and expression be what drives your performance, not your fear of mistakes. Step 4, be prepared. Okay, so this one ought to be pretty obvious, but it's also super important. Just be prepared. That means practicing your songs not till you just get them right, but practice your songs to the point where you never get them wrong. Being prepared is also more than just what your songs are, it's also getting all your logistics in order too. If you're playing for a gig or a venue, just make sure that you know exactly where you're setting up, know what kind of equipment you need to bring to the gig and what kind of equipment they have at the gig. Bottom line, if you're prepared for stuff, you can just trust that you've already done that work and you don't have to spend all this time in your head thinking about it and keeping all those ducks in a row. It gives you time to focus on what's really important. So the final tip, tip number 5, everyone in the audience is your friend. Now I don't know where this phenomenon of fearing the judgment of the audience comes from. Maybe it's from all those reality TV shows and those singing competitions. If you're up there performing, you're doing what most people don't do. You're doing something that's really, really brave and vulnerable, and everyone in the audience is going to be respecting you for just being up on stage. So rather than going up and looking at all the people in the audience as judging you, recognize that they are all admiring your courage to go up there and perform. Performing music doesn't have to be scary. It can be one of the most rewarding things in the world. So get out there, find some places to play, take a deep breath, and show people what you're made of.